Righto, so we're just doing the final pack, and I've got to obviously get a fair few rags around some of the Asus and bits and pieces. But obviously I had a visit with VK2QR last night. Whenever you see Asus and bits and pieces, a few other bits that are in the back of the trailer, that means I've probably caught up with Rob. But in there we've got about there's 4 or 5 service monitors. There's a stack of old Crows and bits, but frequency counters, a lot of Marconi gear, Motorola, IFR. So there's we've had to jam pack it all in the back here. Even Motorola tubes. These are the Crow tubes for the 2001Ds. So those of you that know the test monitor I use every day, the 2001D, it can be very hard to get the actual Crow tube for them, and these there's 3 in total, 2 for the 2001, and there's another one somewhere in here. Oh yeah, this one here that goes into the the 2400 Motorola. But there's a few 625s, 225 sideband digital versions, etc. FT650, FT990, but and some amateur radio actions. Let me just drag something out, something very interesting. Now, don't mind the bit of dust, but this is a Midland test set, and you wait till you see what's in this little unassuming brown box, or brown with dirt and then brown underneath. Have a look at this. This is the Midland test set that was used for actually I need my glasses to read all this, but I'm going to get my glasses, hang on. That's better, I can read this now. Had to go to my hotel room. I'm just staying at this is in Gundagai, and I just needed a place to stay last night. I was so dead tired, I tell you what. It's just after 5 a.m. in the morning here, and I've had a few hours sleep. So basically, feed DC power in, radio jumper. You can have it go through to, this will be the radio speaker, test set tone. And by the way, this is the company that what you're about to see, and you won't see it in great detail just yet. When I get home in a few hours time, we'll start going through a lot of it. And this is Castletop Radio Developments in Mitchell Street, Wee Waa. And look at the phone number. These guys have been around a long time, and I want to say a really big, huge thank you to Jan and also to Dean. You guys are just fantastic. Dean, thank you so much for all your help loading yesterday. We did it in the most incredible heat, and as Dean could see, I was struggling at times, but we got there, and just really want to say thank you to Dean, but also to Jan as well for all your help with this. So basically, this test set you could just plug into, and there are other modules, by the way, that this actually goes into even more. So this is a very, very basic sort of look at what your little Midland VHF UHF was doing. But and today, of course, we would just use test monitors and bits, and you can feed your 2-tone signals and bits and pieces. Well, sorry, it actually wouldn't be a 2-tone, it'd be a tone, just a carrier, switch in. Oh yeah, so receive, transmit, etc. Not sure what this dates, probably 90s, I think. I'd say 1990s, but roughly something like that. All right, well, you know what? I just had to pull that one out to at least show you something that was interesting, because there's a lot more interesting stuff, but I just can't get to it. As you will see, that there is just boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of new radio gear and new radio accessories, and a lot of it's redundant, don't get me wrong, but that's what we're in the business of doing, is trying to put a museum together with old bits and pieces. By the way, these are original Station Masters, and I've got a few of those in there. Original, I mean the original Station Master, built way back, and I'll take you for a quick run around. These here Now we've got way too many of these, so we'll be selling some of these off to cover some of our costs. Full DTMF microphones. We've got CDCSS kits. We've got sofa tone boards for the radios that you can't get into repeaters with these days. We actually had a little bit of a mishap here with some worlds gave loose, but we're going to make it back. A lot of old tape rack gear, loads and loads of tape rack gear. Some are very redundant, obviously. In there there's the whole, you can't really see, but there's some really old, nice old speakers. Also test panels, bits and pieces. As you can see, there's quite a few boxes of new radios, a lot of them commercial, of course. A filing cabinet that's kind of coming to bits here, and I don't think I'm able to get that easily. No, okay, need a stick or something. Don't be fooled, that 940 is my box we put stuff in. By the way, very little amateur gear on this one apart from what came from Rob, that's what we knew we were going to get. Here there's a stack of antenna specialists from the US, and I know that a trip was made to the US to get a lot of these bits and pieces, and I can tell you we're not short of antennas at the moment, and certainly old 70 meg cavities. Now these are probably for display only. They're a nice display piece. Not too many 70 meg situations where you'd be using those these days, but once again, they're great examples of history. But we've got loads of cavities in there. Antennas, more antennas than you could ever. Anyway, loads. This box here, this is actually a hex beam that's come over from Europe, and many thanks to VK2QR. There's a few other signs of VK2QR, 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 and this is what's really handy. This is the hex tilt plate, hex lock that everybody's been talking about, and this is going to go on one of our NBS towers at the moment, just so that when we lower on the side, which probably won't happen a lot to be honest, but because we can sort of just take it up and down, but when you think about it, it is handy to be able to do both, but then sort of have it so you can work on it. The hex lock, obviously you can see it just jigs itself into place, and I'm doing a very bad job while it's sitting in this box, but I'll show you on a tower one day how that actually works. So as you come through, and this is just a very brief look, guys, a bit of a 10-minute look at what took hours to get on board. Lots of PA modules, lots of VHF, UHF antennas. Look at these 30 meg antennas here. These are full length 30 meg antennas. Now I was talking to Rob about these last night, about how you can adjust the coax length to run them. Combiner, have a look at this in here. That's a 500 watt meter on the combiner, UHF combiner, and that is just a piece of artwork. Rob's not a big fan of mounting the cavities on the notches on their side. They can bend over the years, but he said that is just a piece of artwork. But as you keep going through, look, and you'll see there's some surplus stuff down here. A lot of old phone accessories and bits, and and the deal was to try and help clean the place out. It wasn't all just about trying to grab the best of the best bits or anything. It was actually trying to get the property. We actually had the people who were buying it. They're turning the radio company into an oil business, would you believe it? This box here is full of crystals, absolutely full of crystals, for so many different radios. And you can see in here, he's got them all categorized. That's a real find in respect to being able to repurpose some of the radios and get them up and running. Don't laugh at this, but there's two big boxes of 10 centimeter square 8 ohm 20 watt speakers, and guess what, they're the perfect size to fit in just about every amateur radio that you're ever gonna. It's a very universal size. They fit the commercials. Now you're gonna laugh at me. These are brand new boxes of 1.44 discs in their plastic wrapping, etc. There's also some 3.5s in there as well, brand new. There's TDK tapes, brand new. Now, I know, before you start sort of saying to me, oi, they're worthless. Well, they are to some people. To people like me who love collecting old stuff, because I'm getting old myself, they're amazing because it's just a whole lot of history there, and quite amazing. But as you can see, a lot of whips and antennas and bits and pieces in there, loads actually, and there's a lot more underneath too. So this will give you a bit of an idea. See, even things like, if you just sort of look through the cracks there, that 18 amp Wagner power supply. You might be thinking, what happens if it rains on the way home? Well, thank goodness I took a punt, and it would have been good. But I do have tarps on board if all of a sudden it was going to rain. But we'll be out of here in a couple of hours and be home by midday. So that's the really good news. All right, well, look, this is just a bit of a look. Riley and I have got our work cut out for us for the next couple of days. Oh, by the way, see the hard drive in there? That is a hard drive. Now, talk about a piece of history. I wish I could get a better shot of that. But underneath there, the thing that looks like it's the size of a small briefcase is a hard drive. Oh, there's another one under here. Maybe give you a bit of an idea. Oh, not really. It's going to be too heavy. But underneath there is a hard drive. Big one. Not big in size as far as capacity, just big in physical size. So there you go. That's we're a little bit front loaded. We should have got a little bit more weight in the middle, to be honest, but we're down a bit low here. But the car sort of didn't have any trouble pulling it, which was good. Well, that's not true. Some of the if you take the Newell Highway, there's a lot of roadworks on up and down at the moment, and yeah, we did have to change gears a few times. But anyway, I've just got to get these radios all wrapped up in cloth before we go anywhere, and otherwise Rob will kill me. He'll come and see his own radio sitting on a shelf somewhere and go, "Oi, what'd you do to my FT650? It's got a big scratch in it." And no, we'll make sure it's all good. Okay, 73s, and I'll finish on this little fella here. What a piece of history. And this makes it even more, to be able to actually, show that this little business in Wee Waa, and let me tell you, I say that tongue in cheek, this was not a little business. This had the average floor space of probably one of the larger Dick Smith stores, and I mean larger, as in then it had all its service centres, areas behind, it had offices everywhere, storage everywhere. This was a huge business. So for those of you who'd like to comment, if you remember Castletop Radio Developments, they did a lot of repeater work, obviously. Please feel free to. And my compliments to everybody involved, because this obviously was a real big team effort in Wee Waa. And I'll tell you what, after now visiting Wee Waa, visiting the people there, and the way they're so helpful, I honestly just think this is why I live in the country these days, because country people are just so giving and so generous with their time, and also with what they've done for us here too. 73 is all the best from VK3 Charlie Mike. Keep you updated probably during the day with something a little more specific, but for the moment this is our lot in life, and it's funny when I watch Jesse Waters on Fox, he always says, this is I'm Jesse Waters and this is Waters World. I'm Bretton Meadows and this is Bretton's World. It's going to be a busy one, but we'll get it sorted over the next few days. 73 is all the best.